Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Wolves Den podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Ryan.
What's up, guys?
How you guys doing today? So before we get started, hit that subscribe and like button. Don't forget to go to Wolves Den House on Instagram and hit that follow button and get your merch at Tactical Inc. We have a lot of merch up right now, especially summer's coming. We got the Jiu-Jitsu Misfits, that new design that came up.
And there might be some shorts coming with that design, right?
Yeah, I just put the shorts out today.
Ooh.
Shorts.
It'll be good for that hot weather, guys.
Help support the brand. We are worldwide. So real quick, I just want to give a shout out to some shout outs. So,
Yeah.
Well, real quick, let's cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Man. Cheers, brother.
Always.
Cheers to you guys. If you guys are listening to this morning, drink that coffee. If you guys are listening at night, relax, sit in the back.
Alcoholic, drink that Irish coffee.
Sit in the back, just drink a beer, listen to our voices.
Yeah, like ASMR, but with me and Eric, we're just heavy breathing.
Yeah. Put your feet up.
Do you guys like heavy breathing?
Yeah. Shout outs though, real quick. So shout outs to Brian Woods. Brian Woods, thank you for always coming to class and giving us some really good tips and leading us in the warm-ups. Awesome training. I see he'll have a bright future in the sport.
Yeah, like great mentorship.
And then in this martial art world. Thank you, Brian. Really appreciate you, brother. The guy's also an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
Brian Woods is an amazing athlete. Like, I held mitts for him, and that guy can really punch and kick, dude.
We're here to build people up, right?
Yeah.
This is part of the show. And like, when I first saw him in no gi, no homo or all homo, depending on how you want to take this, I was like, damn, this dude's got shoulders.
The dude's huge.
I mean, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
Even rolling with him, he's a nightmare.
Oh yeah. I mean, every time I roll with him, he's all technique. I know if me and him were competing, it'd be bad. He would destroy me,
dude. I think,
but that's what I love about him and guys like him is that it's not about winning, it's about teaching, and that's how you learn, and that's how you teach other people. He's
a specimen, man. He would be one of the I think if he did MMA. And it's just me talking, and like I don't know how Brian feels about this, but I think he could be a world champion, dude. I mean,
he's tall.
He's made for it, dude.
Yeah, he's tall. He's got leg strength. Yeah, I don't know a weakness on that dude, to be honest with you.
No, dude. I mean, his strikes are if he once he gets his striking game up and his right cross, man, it's gonna knock someone out in those kicks. Man,
yeah, I think I'd be scared to hold mitts.
And then his grappling on top of that. Fuck, dude.
Because if you've ever held mitts for someone who could throw a punch, you got to know what you're fucking doing, or you're gonna get yourself you're getting whooped, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Brian,
they're throwing punches.
Yeah, he's this all around great guy, and he's super humble, but also a heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Brian. Thank you for always helping us, man, and giving us knowledge and keeping that good positive energy up.
Yeah, we just keep paying that forward. That's what helps keeping everyone fucking going, you know?
And shout out to Tyson Lane. Tyson's our new black belt at Charles Gracie in Mountain House, who's been helping out there, and is going to be one of the new instructors. And shout out to him. He's an awesome black belt. The guy's a beast on the mat. I got a chance to roll with him no-gi yesterday, and the guy's just a beast, man. I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just, a nobody, but
we're all nobody.
Yeah, but rolling with these guys is just, man, it's just, he's awesome. He's an awesome dude. He's funny. He's an awesome character, and I can't wait to keep learning from you, man. Thank you, Tyson, for coming out and giving us your time, brother.
Yeah, dude, especially today.
Yeah, he's also Charles Gracie Modesto.
Oh, right. Yep.
So he also is an instructor at Charles Gracie. Shout out to Charles Gracie Modesto, and thank you for letting us Tyson to help out here and there. Charles Gracie Fremont also got to meet their main instructor down there, and he came out and did a class in up here, and really good guy, man. Really good dude, and down to earth, and he was working a lot of fundamentals the other day in no-gi.
Nice.
And I really got a chance. Yeah, man, just really cool people. Shout out to AJ Sams. He's a black belt instructor. And Tracy, Charles Gracie Tracy, and AJ Sam's a really down to earth dude, man. You can't miss him. Cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
both sides. It looks like he's just gonna fuck somebody up.
I'll meet him one day. I know him well via Instagram, but
Yeah. I love talking to him. I see him in the gym in the mornings, and we have some good conversations. And he's a really down to earth guy. And I got to make it down to Charles Gracie Tracy, but
we need to do
got to
that.
get down there to all the gyms. And we have a lot of good guys, man, in the gyms. And shout out to Charles, Paul, and Jeff Briggs, and the team, and Sarah over there at Charles Gracie Mountain House. You guys are doing an awesome job. We want to really give you guys a shout out, man. Charles Gracie Mountain House, you guys are doing your thing, and thank you for always having us, putting up with our bullshit.
Yep. It piles up.
Yeah, man. Paul's an awesome guy, dude. Jeff is an awesome person. And Sarah,
I was gonna say about Tyson too.
She's awesome.
Today, Tyson put in work, man. Like it took me an extra 25 minutes to learn the move of the day.
Yeah,
but I got it finally, thanks to Tyson and Brian, which is ironic because we were giving them shout outs. But man, those guys.
Just the way he explains things is pretty funny. He's like, hey, with the whole arm thing.
I vibe really well with them. Like I feel like I learn a lot from Brian because he's different. He's very zen. And then I like Tyson because he's more sarcastic, funny, totally up my alley style of comedy.
Yeah.
But man, I love the way he just, you know what's nice about doing shit, bringing humor into things, is it takes some of the intimidation factor out of it. Because when he first started explaining the move of the day, I was like, fuck. I had to really pay attention because there was it wasn't that it was so complicated, but it was like I needed to make sure I understood what order and how to kind of get to my body and do all that. That's always the problem. But it's just when you can make something funny and relatable, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't so daunting. Like, I'm just doing jujitsu. I need to relax. Don't be overwhelmed. Try it. Keep trying it. Fail 45 times. And then on the 46th time, when you get it kind of good, then do that 8 more times. And then you're like, okay, I finally kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's like they kind of uplift you, right? Like it's I'm 260 pounds, so for me to when we're practice drilling today, and for me to do that move a couple times when I finally got it, I was like, damn, I can actually move this way. Like it was all encouragement.
Yeah,
because in my head I would never myself I would have never tried.
But that's because you never tried. You've never tried it, and I've never tried either. That's why I was just like a dead deer. I was just like, I wasn't moving good. And then when I was like, oh, I got to do this, I got to transition, but not my head and my upper body, just my position. So I'm pivoting. I needed to pivot, not move. And it was just little adjustments here and there. But that's really everything about learning something is about adjustments. As long as you can get the basic flow down, then just tweak it, fine tune it, and you'll get it, dude. But it's cool to have people that have patience.
Yeah.
Because I'll notice that. If someone doesn't have patience, I don't like learning from them because I know I'm not a quick learner. So it's like, I can't learn off someone when I know they're pissed off at me.
Yeah.
Like there's just some weird vibe there and I just don't learn like that. But no, dude, jiu-jitsu's never been that way. Like everyone that I learn from and everyone I click with, it's the opposite. Like everyone's patient. Everyone's insightful, humble. You know, the whole time Tyson was like, too, he was like, oh, man, we need to be able to explain it to you, too. It's not just you. But no, it's it's good to have, everyone was cool and we all worked it out as a team. And I didn't feel embarrassed once, even though I was probably the only guy in class who couldn't get it. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm at war with myself.
Yeah.
I'm not, sure, everyone compares themselves here and there and it's hard not to, but I'm always at war with myself. So if I'm trying to learn something, I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah. And everyone's going to have that point. Yeah. It might not be this move. It'll be a different one, So it's just, and that's part of jiu-jitsu is overcoming hardships.
Well, that's how it was yesterday. What happened with me yesterday, drove up and didn't feel like being in class. Didn't feel like doing anything and drank my freaking C4 energy drink.
Oh, so you're all gacked out.
And I'm sitting there watching podcasts and I was just like,
what were you watching though?
I was just watching I watched the podcast in Hawaii, how the Yakuza, how they were out in Hawaii. So I watched this whole podcast. It was cool. It was really cool. Don't get it wrong. Some parts were kind of boring. It was just a storytelling. But I watch a lot of podcasts as I'm driving to class. I don't know why.
You know what you need to do? You've already summed up what you need to do, man.
You got some
You
pump up
need to
music.
turn on Bloodsport.
Yeah, I do.
You got to stop
So-
being conscious about all this other stuff.
Well, I got-
just get in the move.
Well, I got a seminar I told you about this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
It's a canine seminar doing dogs. So I'm teaching a seminar, and I got asked to do it. And they're renting out this huge park for me. And a lot of people have been asking me, messaging me, like, hey, I'm going to come out to the seminar. And so the reason I don't really talk about the dog stuff, the dog training, is because dog training, there's a lot of fucking drama in it. Like, people don't, like, you think jiu-jitsu is a lot of drama?
So it's just everything has
Yeah,
drama.
everything.
Yeah.
But it's bad because you got like a lot of, I want to say, people who think they can do it this way, that way. What is just cool? Everyone's right. I just try to stay out of
Right.
that. I'm not I don't like that conflict, especially with my business or the business part. So it's just like, so it's just a lot of like emotions going into me getting ready for this seminar. So yesterday driving up to class, I was just like, fuck, I don't want to be here. And I was just already in my head. I'm in my own head. And I do that a lot. I'm just in my own head. Like, fuck, dude, like forcing myself to go. And I see you guys roll up and it's kind of making my day better. And everyone's like, you know, then I get inside there and it was like no gi. And then I'm getting messages left and right from a bunch of other bullshit. So it's just like my days is going like boom, downhill real quick. And then I was also dealing with my daughter. We just found out my daughter has asthma. So the other day she had a hard time breathing.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me. So we're in the ER, rushing her to ER, dealing with Milani's asthma, and I'm monitoring her. We can't sleep. Me and her mom can't sleep all night because we're watching her breathe. Like she is like, it's just. So finally we got the right medication for her, and it was just a bunch of shit, you know. And
That's a lot, man.
yeah, and then
You got a lot
yesterday we
going
came
on.
from the doctors too, so I went to class, and I was just like, it was just a bunch of
Yeah,
bullshit.
you're on low sleep.
Low sleep, dude.
Yeah.
Low sleep, little sleep. So this
Sleep
beer,
fucks with everything.
this beer is definitely worth it today, dude.
It's working, and it's gonna make you sleep like a fucking baby tonight, probably.
Yeah, dude.
He's gonna be 20 minutes, guys. He's gonna be.
Well, that's
Wake
how
up.
our week went, guys. And not to bring
Well,
everyone
we're
down.
not even done with shout outs.
Oh yeah, shout outs.
No, but this is beautiful. That's why
Yeah.
I'm not gonna interrupt. Tell you all the time if it's organic content.
But again, once I got into jiu-jitsu and like once we started going, and I was really cool to lead the class yesterday. Like, thank you for guys for letting me lead the class because I needed that. Like, I really did. There was a point where I just wanted to drive away, but when I got to lead the warm-ups, that's what I mean, warm-ups. I didn't lead
it
the
took
class,
you out
but
of your
warm-ups.
space, right?
Yeah, when leading the warm-ups, kind of took me out because I had to do something.
You had to do that shit.
Yeah, I
you
had
didn't
to
have
do
time to
something.
think about all the other shit.
No, I didn't. And I think if somebody else would have led the warm-ups, I would have been like,
You would have been thinking about it the whole time.
I would have been thinking
Yeah.
about my bullshit that I had to deal with.
Yeah.
But I let the warm up, so it was just like cool. It let me like kind of
But also props to you,
Decompress.
man, because it's not easy to lead people when your head's fucked up.
no.
And you know what? You put that shit aside and you fucking handled it. So you
Yeah.
know what? Good job.
Yeah, I think we all deal with bullshit, dude. It's just like being an adult sucks sometimes, but it's also like
Yeah, but you know what? You need to fucking celebrate the wins, though, man.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds corny, but it's true. Like, the only way you feel better as an individual is if you're positive about the shit
Yeah.
you do right, and that's something good. So there you go.
well, that's why even today, like when we did that move with Tyson,
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, I can actually move my big ass body this way.
Yeah,
You know?
and you did good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already, and the thing about you that's scary is the slicers are already in your vocabulary. So
Yeah.
adding this maneuverability into a slicer, that's going to be scary.
Yeah, because my game is like a lot of pressure. It's all wrestling.
Oh, I know. When
All
you had
pressure.
your foot on my ankle, I was like, I'm going to deal with it, but this sucks.
It's like, but
This
you know the
fucking
crazy
sucks.
part? There's dudes out there that are doing jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
and fighting MMA that are way bigger than me. Like I've seen some videos of some fucking big ass beasts, dude,
And their conditioning's probably
And they're
through the
younger.
roof, right?
and they're younger.
think-
I'm in my
You think
mid
they're
40s.
juicing, or you think they're just young
No,
men?
I just think there's
They're just
younger
young men
dudes
that
and
are
they're
putting it on.
genetically they're just huge.
Yeah.
And they can move because they're younger, they're faster.
Or your 20s, your T
Their
levels are
20s,
just
their
you're just
T levels are through
you're
the roof.
You're just sweating testosterone and
fucking
cum.
ready to pound.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready to pound, fucking popping woods, popping boners all day, ready to go. A little too descriptive.
It's like no, not at all. It's just a commercial for Levitra or whatever. Is that even a drug anymore? No, that's. I'm dating myself with the prescription boner pills.
Yeah, there's just dudes out there ready to fucking go, dude. They're huge, dude.
Now, when
They
you
can
say
move
ready to
like
go,
a-
you mean fight or fuck?
Both.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
no, both. I don't know about. Yeah. Free oil checks. Free oil checks on the mat. No, They're just ready to. They're ready to. I mean, they can fight anytime, but they move like 150-pound guy. Some of these dudes, they're just athletic. You know,
dude.
And it's scary, dude.
I think when you learn how to fight, you learn that size no longer is a thing to consider. Especially when it's martial arts, like cross martial arts.
Well, today I got swept by a 150-pound dude.
That dude is a beast, though.
Yeah, but he still swept me, and I give him credit for that. I mean, I'm 260 pounds.
That's the good thing about martial arts, dude, is the realization that, hey, guess what, motherfucker?
Dude, I got happy for him.
Sometimes, but that's what I mean. You need that real life thing where that 150-pound guy at the grocery store that you're like, fuck you. Hey, he might whoop your fucking ass.
Yeah, it was this quick thing. Like, he was like, oh, how do I sweep someone? It was just like, and it was just kind of like, hey, maybe just feel the body movement. And the next thing you know, we're going. He felt my body movement, like trying to smash on him. And whoop, there I go flying.
Well, you know, the common problem with bigger guys, and they say this is your balance is always off.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, I was like, oh, fuck. It was just, I haven't been, like, I actually got, I flew swept. I mean, it wasn't just a little sweep. Like, I fucking, across the other side, dude. And I was like, holy shit, my body went that way. And
I feel like I never have a base with Jaden. I feel like he can always throw me.
I think
even if I get my knees on the ground, he's something about once he gets his butterfly guard or whatever positioning to just fling you, he just gets you.
Have you seen the old video with Helio Gracie when he fights Kimura? The Kimura, he's the guy from Japan.
Oh, the one that brought jiu-jitsu to Brazil?
Yeah, they had a huge like super fight. And the dude's huge, right? The guy's big. He's a big Japanese dude, and he's going against Helio. And Helio held his own. He held his own, dude. I mean, the video is like, it's in they try to color it because the new age.
Right.
But Helio Gracie, man, like, he was really about that self-defense. Like, he held his own against this big fucking strong dude. It's like me going against, say, someone like Jaden. Like, here comes this big fucking burly dude. This is say I knew judo, or if I knew I was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying that at all. But if I was, right, and they had all this fucking technique, and there's a little guy who has technique, and he just fucking, whoop, you know, like, I toss him, but he puts up this.
But do you understand why that works?
The body mechanics. So it's like
timing too.
Yeah. It's just like
it's like using your own weight against you.
Yeah, dude, I gotta send you the video. It's a cool match. I mean, it was really inspiring for me. And it's just like, doesn't matter what size you are. You know,
when I make it sound like it's just so easy to comprehend.
Yeah.
But it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not good at it. No. But there's moments when you'll feel something where you're like, holy shit. Like you just said, when you have a moment in jiu-jitsu where you're like, a jiu-jitsu moment.
It's a holy shit moment. Like,
you're
I
like,
just got
wow, is that what that's supposed to be? No, but I mean, in the good thing you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Not this shit now. I'm saying, like, when you said, I didn't know my body could move that way. It's fucking cool when you learn what you can do through things. You know what I mean? Like, through martial arts. Because you don't, I mean, half the shit you see on TV, you're like, how can a body do that? But those people train.
Yeah.
You know, and then they work hard and they get to that point. So it's like, that doesn't mean everyone can do it. I'm not saying that.
No, I mean, I've trained with some wrestlers and I've been tossed on my head. Like, literally slammed on my head where I'm seeing double.
Well, and wrestlers, the scary thing about wrestlers is they roll violent.
Yeah.
And when I say violent, it's not a bad thing. Violent is a good thing because in martial arts, violence is everything you do.
And when I roll, I try to, like,
they're very like aggressive.
I try to slow it.
Good.
I try to slow it down, but I can't help but put my pressure because that's what I've learned.
But also, I feel like when you slow shit down, you're doing it. You might be doing it wrong, and you might injure your opponent and yourself easier too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like the natural flow is better than dumbing it and slowing it. I mean, you have to slow it down when you're learning it.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you see the mechanics move in emotion, like fluidity is always better than 8 steps around. You know what I mean? Like going like this versus segmenting.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just going to work better mechanically, your body, their body. So I feel like sometimes when you're trying shit out, it is kind of like, you're like, fuck, I hope this isn't as ridiculous in real time as it is like learning it.
Yeah. But one of the tournaments I did I went to train with some wrestlers with a high school wrestling team. Dude, high school wrestlers, dude, when you're getting ready for a tournament, I think that's like, if it's not a D1 level, at least go to like a coach at the high school and try to get in to do some wrestling, because those kids are just speed on them, fast.
Yeah.
Fucking fast, athletic. They're doing shit like wrestling prep. There's a place called Wrestling Prep, and when I coach wrestling, I used to take my wrestlers there. And shout out to Wrestling Prep. They do some crazy stuff there, dude. I mean, they're doing like stuff that you wouldn't see back in the days. I mean, they're doing like, I mean, maybe they did, but I don't remember seeing it. But they're doing like somersaults. They're getting their bodies to move a certain way that they can get out of these positions, like, and be able to wrestle and grapple a lot faster. And they're fast, dude.
Well, I heard they say wrestling and gymnastics are the two best things for grappling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your mobility.
So my nephew, he wrestles down in Fresno, and he's been fucking wrestling since he was 5 years old. My brother's got a personal trainer for him, and his name is Tristan. And I think it might just be genetics too. So my nephew is half black, and then he has our mix in him. But I think it's genetic. Like, the kid just boom, 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 just can fucking move, dude. I mean, he's so fast and so strong. Even when I try to wrestle with him, like, he's just like, even when he was younger, I'd just play around with him. He's just quick, dude.
Well, you know what it is? I mean, that's like the athlete gene. Some guys just have the athletic gene, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like all the dudes that play NFL or NBA, holy shit. They're freaks, dude.
Yeah.
You know, they're like tall. They got big frames. They got the mental capacity to deal with training camps and football itself.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. Hockey.
Well, I think genetics plays a huge part in a lot of like athletes, right? Like,
yeah,
being genetically gifted.
Well, I mean, I know, like, as far as scouting goes, definitely for NBA and NFL, like, your height is huge. You know, your frame is huge.
And it's not to say anything bad, but you never see
what?
Like, I'm trying to say the right word.
You bring tennis into this? What are you trying to say?
Well, tennis, you have to be athletic.
Do you think
you
could fuck Nadal up, dude? I'm just kidding.
Everyone's into what's the other thing besides tennis? It's that.
Oh, pickleball.
Fucking pickleball.
That's a fucking retiree sport right there.
Yeah. But no, but I think genetics plays a huge part.
Yeah.
In a lot of things.
But what were you gonna say? There was a sport you were gonna throw out. I felt like I could smell that you were gonna.
I just don't want to say it.
Oh, boo!
I don't want to say it.
You're building it up, and now you just fucking blue balls over here. Fuck.
Well, I just feel. Let me see.
Why not? It's just an opinion. You can always change it later.
So
I'm the devil on your shoulder right now, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's what happens when you keep feeding me these Stellas. Bad things are gonna happen. No, I'm kidding.
So my older brother, I love my older brother, but he used to be really into basketball. He'd get arguments and shit.
Yeah.
I would tell him on the side, there's no Mexicans in basketball in the NBA. He'd get so pissed.
It's kind of true. How many fucking, jeez. I never really thought about that.
Well, we're mixed, so it's like.
Yeah, but how many Native Americans are fucking playing in the NBA?
Yeah.
Neither fucking part of your genetics really spell out NBA. Not that there aren't people that are probably, I'm sure there's dudes out there that are built for it. Because like you said, genetics is not race driven all the time. It's like a lottery. I mean, dude, there's Japanese or Chinese dudes that are 7.5 feet tall. Like,
but is there any Hispanics in basketball that you know of? I mean, I don't know of any. Maybe there is.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How big is basketball in Mexico?
Boxing's big in Mexico and soccer's big in Mexico.
Well, there you go. So it's not really a big sport. So people just aren't really, because it's like, think about this. Like,
but it doesn't mean there's not kids like.
Oh, sure. But if you don't have a market, where would they train? Where would they learn? Where would they go? They just play street hoops all day?
Well, so where I grew up,
are there colleges that have teams? And
there was a lot of guys when I went to school, they were Hispanic and they were.
But what I mean is like,
but they just.
But and that only takes you so far. You know, like you can't get drafted from Polk Street basketball court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you got to belong to a college or something that'll be draftable. I'm not.
Well, that's what I was also saying.
That's the weird thing.
My brother, my little brother, so his wife, she was my little brother. Shout out to him. I love you, dude. So my little brother, Ernie, the one I listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
His wife is she was born in Africa, but she speaks Portuguese because she's also has Portuguese or part of her Brazil or something like that out there. But her kids are my brother's has our side, and then her side is black. My nephews.
Right.
So, but I mean, genetically, like I see the genetics part of it. Like these kids don't work out; they're just like genetically gifted. They're super fast. Like fucking punch you in the face if you talk shit. Like
yeah.
But they're just genetically gifted. Like I mean, like I was telling my nephew. Like,
what about those fat kids too, though?
What do you mean?
Because I feel like every race has fat kids.
I don't know. I mean,
so then I feel like that's why I feel like it's more like a lottery than it is like.
But I was a chubby kid growing up, and I'm not genetically gifted. I've had to work to get where I'm at.
Right.
Like just to get my size. I mean, it's all working out. But I don't think maybe there's genetics there. But I wasn't a star athlete in high school.
Maybe it's in the water in Mexico. Maybe they don't have all the fucking fluoride that we have out. Dude, I don't know, dude. But some people were saying that 100 years ago, the reason why people were smaller is because all the shit that we're eating now and all our water supply. And this is me putting my little hat on. But yeah, our water supply is different and our food that we eat is different. And that's why we're bigger people. And I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
But I wonder too, just geographically, like, I feel like there's so much that goes into sports and how people get in there. Cause I feel like the main thing is the sport even in your country? If it isn't, there's no way you're going to fucking be able to be a national resident of that country and get into the NBA or something. I mean, you have to relocate, go to a college. And so I feel like that's the shitty part. But culturally, it's kind of like, it's more American, European. It's kind of crazy how big it is in like Russia and Eastern Europe, basketball. Because those white boys, well, the ones out here in America maybe can't ball, but I'm sure there are some good whites out there. But damn, those Eastern Europeans, there's something about the water out there.
I had my step cousin. He played for the Marlins. It was Phil Gomez. He played baseball for the Marlins.
Was he Mexican?
He's Mexican. He's my step cousin. Yeah, he's Mexican. Full Mexican, but he could pitch like a motherfucker back then. But
baseball's huge in Mexico too, though. Not that your cousin's from Mexico.
No, he's not from Mexico. He's from
Washington. He's from America.
Yeah. He's from
we were on the topic. And you were saying like sports that aren't predominantly in Mexican culture.
Yeah. Well, wrestling's not in Mexico as much, and or jiu-jitsu's not in Mexico.
Are you sure? Wrestling? Really?
It's not huge.
Because what about lucha wrestling?
Well,
is that American wrestling?
That's
or they don't do that in Mexico?
But that's not. I mean, you're putting like. It's not Greco wrestling. It's not freestyle wrestling.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like, I didn't know what you meant by wrestling. You meant Olympic wrestling. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Boxing's huge in Mexico.
Yeah.
Boxing's huge. But you also get that fighter from you. Like that. I feel like it's that fighter mentality. But that's what I was saying. Like even my nephews, like my nephew Tristan, like I mean, that kid's been doing it since he was like 5 years old wrestling.
But I think that has a lot to do with it too.
It's like that fighter in him. But like it's just.
I don't think he's genetically. I mean, maybe.
I'm gonna call him.
You just said he's been fighting since he was 5. I think that has
Tristan,
a lot
if you're
to do
watching
with
this, Tristan, we're gonna challenge you and Ryan to a match.
Blow it out your ass, Eric. Fucking starting shit. Fucking Don King over here.
He's like 17 years old.
Hey, listen, you slick your hair back. You're not a promoter, all right?
Hey, I just started combing it back recently. All right, let's go.
I don't want to fight your nephew. Nephew?
He's my nephew, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't want to. Anyone related to you is scary.
No, dude. Yeah. My little brother's nice, though. My older brother's... He was the one I feared the most, was my older brother. Serious. Funny guy, but very serious.
Older?
My older, yeah.
Hell yeah, older siblings all day, bro.
But my little brother's always been the one that's down to fight.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he's just a swinger.
Like the young ones always have this little chip. I don't know.
Dude, if I had a problem right now...
My youngest is like that too. He's just like ready to he's down to throw it.
Yeah, dude. It's like if you had a problem right now, he's like, hey, bro, like I got a problem with this dude. Okay, I'm going to drive down from Fresno. I'll be there in an hour. That's it. Like ready to fight. You know, it's like, but he's like this union guy and hospital, like top executive, but he's like, I'll take that shit off and just be ready to fight.
Yeah.
Just like a scrappy kid.
I feel like that's my youngest. Like, I feel like my oldest is going to call my youngest up and be like, hey, man.
Oh, your little one, your 3-year-old? Oh, yeah.
My 4-year-old?
But your kids are going to grow up being
They're
beasts.
different kids. I like that.
They're going to be beast.
But do you know? I think so.
Yeah.
I already let, like, when I pissed Vincent off, I let him, like, punch me and shit.
Oh, when he was punching me the other day, he was punching hard.
Yeah. I let him because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how he's going to get it.
Dude,
If someone pisses you off, what are you going to do? And I don't do that. I don't tell him that. I'll just fuck around with him jokingly, and he'll get annoyed, and he'll.
So we were laying, me, my wife, and Milani were laying in bed the other day, and I looked at my daughter, and I was like, "You got a problem with me?" She turns around, just boom, punches me in the face.
Like,
I see stars in my eyes.
You're
dude.
probably proud though.
Yeah,
You're like, happy
"Fuck."
dad.
Yes.
Little birds are spinning around your head.
Yeah, dude, kids are crazy. They're
No, but
fun.
you know what though? That's a proud dad moment because I feel
Yeah.
like we're kind of supposed to be somewhat of our kids' punching bags to an extent.
Yeah.
Because how else are they going to learn how to do that shit?
Yeah.
What are they going to learn on their friends? No.
I think all kids, like just like Mike Gino said, like, well, not kids, but like Mike Gino said, when you get to high school, it's good to get in a fight.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of fights in high school.
Well, you're in an angsty age. You got to let that energy out.
Yeah.
And I feel like you learn to let it go too. When you've done it before, you learn how to let it go.
Yeah.
When you've never done it, it's too personal. Like,
Well, here's the thing. When I got in a fight in high school, I got in a fight with some dudes, but they kept showing up like with their fucking friends.
yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck,
That's
I'm
some
gonna
like
get
gang
shot."
violence.
It was,
shit
it was
right there.
gang stuff, yeah. But I was like worried. I was gonna.
No,
like,
but like I mean, like, but at the same time, that's when you get your friends and let's fuck them up.
I think my friends were kind of like more intimidated.
Well, so let me give you a little background on my high school. Like, we were like the kids that were cool with everybody. Like, we were cool with the Norteños and shit. We were cool with the like Asian Crips. We were cool with the jocks.
Oh,
We were
so you got
cool-
everything.
But we weren't in those cliques, but we were cool with all of them.
Yeah.
So we were just like the rockers, and like, I don't know, dude. We went to those metal shows and hardcore shows and got in fights, and dude, there's hardcore gangs.
Yeah.
Like, there's a legitimate gang that one time, remember last week when I was talking about with Mike, I said chairs getting thrown in mosh pits. So at that specific show, there's this group called FSU, and they stand for Friends Staying United. They're originated in Boston. They're a legitimate, I think technically a crime syndicate. They're on the national radar. They were on Gangland.
Oh shit. What are they called?
FSU, Friends Stand United. I think, yeah, dude. They bring hammers to not at the show I was at, but in Boston they would bring hammers to shows. What are you gonna do with that?
This is like the Insane Clown Posse.
No, because Insane
shit.
Clown Posse's theater.
But they have people that really believe in that shit.
No. Juggalos are absolutely
Yeah,
batshit
yeah.
crazy.
Because when I worked in the juvenile probation, we had in juvenile hall.
Not all
we
juggalos.
we had people claiming to be juggalos in there.
Well, sure. I mean, but all a juggalo is a person who likes Insane Clown Posse. That's all that means.
But they were talking about like.
But some
fucking
people are more
rumbles.
diehard. Did they have
Yeah.
the Hatchet Man tattoo? Because every
I didn't see
legit
it,
juggalo's
no.
always got someone somewhere.
But they were hanging out with some of the Norteños that were locked up in there.
Well, and I don't think ICP has any affiliation with gang stuff. They're just satire, horrorcore rap
yeah,
with a comedy twist.
yeah.
That Violent J, the bigger guy in Insane Clown Posse, was actually at Skankfest last year, and he was high as fuck on mushrooms and ketamine. Anyway, that was just a funny little tidbit I wanted to share with you. So I saw him, yeah.
But like where I was at, we didn't have all those other gangs. We just had red and blue. It was you're either a northerner or southerner,
Right.
and that was pretty much it, or you're nothing. But where I grew up at, it was like if your cousins were northerners,
You were
you're
considered part of that.
considered that. Yeah,
Yeah, you're like part of it. But I feel like that's how it was everywhere.
But even if you're trying to avoid that shit,
We didn't have a lot of Southerners where I was, though. In the East Side, I feel like it's a lot more red than blue.
Well, we had Pajaro, which was a lot of Sedeños there.
Right.
And we had a lot of Norteños. Like, so when we,
I feel like it's bad when you got both.
yeah, it was
Because
bad.
there's a lot of button heads and violence.
Yeah, but there wasn't so many like drive-bys like how there is now.
More stabbings, probably.
It was more stabbings and maybe people get shot at here and there, but it was more jumpings.
But
like
also,
some dudes got stabbed in my high school.
I got a question. Isn't a stab wound worse than a bullet wound?
So
I don't know. To sew up and fix and all that?
When I got stabbed, it was pretty bad. But
you can bleed out easier from a stab than a bullet.
But you know what? When I got stabbed, I'm like,
Dylan, tell me in class.
Yeah. So when I got stabbed, it was more like I think the more my blood was pumping, because my adrenaline was fucking, I was just bleeding out.
Fuck yeah.
So when I had a knife go through my arm, I was fucking bleeding out. So when I had the knife go through my arm,
Did you tourniquet that shit or something?
No, I fucking I wrapped a beach towel around it.
Okay.
Wrapped a beach towel with my buddy.
You tried to clot it at least.
Dude, we fucking had to drive around to the hospital. I didn't know where the hospital. I was fucking bleeding out in this car. So when I get to the hospital, fucking I just got dumped in the front of the emergency room. And
oh really? Did they check you in, or they just took off?
Everyone took off. They just dumped me in front of the emergency room. Took off.
They didn't want to have to answer questions.
No, that was like the second time I got stabbed. But the first time I got stabbed, when I told you that story, when I got jumped and or I fight that dude's. I don't want to say his name again, but when I got jumped and he stabbed me in my arm and then he stabbed me in my butt.
Well, that's not a bad spot.
That wasn't as bad. But when I got stabbed in my arm,
yeah,
the fucking knife went through my arm, and then that's when I was bleeding out.
That's scary because there's the arteries. And your ass has no arteries.
So the weird part is that if you ever look at my fingers, my hands, this fingers stick together right here. So it was like
a tendon got shortened.
Yeah, it was just right through here, and it came out this side. So just imagine seeing, it was a steak knife too. So imagine seeing a fucking steak knife just sticking out your arm.
That's nasty. Yeah, I'm a bitch with gore, dude. Yeah. I love horror movies, but I can't.
Not to gross you out, dude, and this is fucking true story. So when I pulled that shit out, fucking meat came out with it. Like it was hanging out. The muscle or whatever was in there, tissue was hanging out of it. And that's when I started bleeding the worst. I pulled that fucker out.
Did you kind of get woozy when you saw that?
Yeah, dude, I was fucking, I thought I was gonna die.
I would probably pass out. I was scared, dude. Like, I would have cried. I would have whelped.
I thought I was done. There was so much blood.
My manliness level at that point would be at a -16, probably.
But what I feel, for me, what I felt is I felt like my body was on fire. And then I also felt very weak. Very, very weak.
Did you feel cold?
Not cold, just weak.
Well, that's good, because the cold part's bad.
I remember panicking. Panic came through my head. And the more I was panicking, the more I was bleeding.
Yeah. But, I mean, how are you not supposed to fucking panic?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, like, there's no peace of mind at that point, I was only like
18 years old at the time.
But there's also no one there to help you fucking walk. There was no one there to be like, you're going to be fine.
So when I got stabbed...
They dropped your ass off.
They took me... I was in a truck, and then they took me to this one area. And we thought it was a hospital, but it was like a little Mexican clinic. And they're like, no, we can't take him here. They fucking shot us across the other hospital. I'm like, call the ambulance, and nobody wanted to call the ambulance. My buddy didn't want to call the ambulance.
But you know what? It's good you didn't, because you're here today, and that would have cost you about $3,000-5,000.
Probably, but I was so scared.
You don't want to
call the ambulance.
No, I want to die, dude.
Because some people die just by little things, you know.
Oh, I mean, if you don't know how to stop bleeding, you're gonna die. Because how long is it gonna take for them to get there?
Well, if it would have hit an artery, I would have bled out.
Oh, you would have been dead.
Yeah, would have bled out.
Because even crazy. And how do you know? And the scary thing is there's arteries right here, on the top of your knees.
You have your brachial, your cardiac.
On your quads.
Yeah.
You can get these ones right here. You got your fucking ones on your down.
You have to get
wrist.
Dylan on
That's
the show.
Scary. And he needs to point out all our fucking weaknesses on a diagram like Bill Belichick and just be like, this is where you went wrong.
Here's the crazy part is that there's dudes in prison who study
well, yeah, I mean,
the brachial arteries, where to stab people at.
Well, They probably know how to rip through them. They probably know how to fillet a person the way like Julia Child knew how to fucking spatchcock a chicken.
No, I don't know how true it is, but I interviewed somebody that was in the gang and from prison, and this is when I was arresting him and whatever, talking to him. He said that he would practice on where to stab somebody, like in his jail cell, in his prison cell, like where to stab. I don't know how true that shit is, but
I mean, why wouldn't it be true? You got nothing else to do. You gonna fucking finger your butthole?
Yeah, dude. It's just like you ever see those little shanks too? They're like small little. Those things
They're
do
scary
damage.
looking, and they always look like the screwdrivers to fix eyeglasses.
Yeah,
but they got like this like taped up handle.
Yeah, fucking, it's enough stab stories for me.
Well, and that's why I don't work in the prisons.
Yeah.
I've also never
We'll just
applied.
stay safe doing our podcast.
I got a question, dude.
Yeah.
I want to do a new segment. Da, 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 da. This segment's called Is It Animal Abuse If I... So I want to talk about my neighbors. They're old. And when I say old, I mean probably 75 plus.
Oh, that's
They're old. Like any day now.
still
You know?
young.
Sure. Take your multivitamin and trust in God. Sure.
Take your TRT.
Yeah. At that point, you can tie that thing to a stick. I don't think it's gonna help. Anyway, they're ancient people, right? They're walking amongst us, and they got this poodle that's got to be probably half as old as they are, and this poor thing, like when like dogs can't move their legs because they're arthritic.
Yeah.
So it's dragging its back legs, right? And I'm laughing because it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's like out of a comedy. They're just dragging the dog on the sidewalk. Like the dog is not walking.
How old's the dog?
I don't know, dude, but it's got to be if it's a poodle, it's got to be at least over the age of 10. It's got to be over 12.
So it doesn't even want to walk.
It looks, I don't think it can. So then one day I see it just, man, they're dragging this thing on. It looked like they were just scraping it on the concrete. Like a slug, like a pet slug. And then the next time I see it with wheels on its back legs, I was like, okay, now they're actually, like this is a Band-Aid, but at least the dog's not going to be in pain. And you're not committing fucking animal abuse.
Yeah.
But then they'll drag it still with the wheels off sometimes. And I'm like, his condition or hers it's not getting better. So keep the wheels on or put it down.
Or they're
because,
trying to walk it.
But they're not. But my whole thing is like your geriatric old ass can't even get across the street. And you're expecting this poor old dog that's probably older than you technically in their years. And you're just forcing it. It's like it doesn't need exercise. The fact that it's living. But
here's the thing with people and dogs is that it is selfish, but it's like
because they're just being lazy, right?
No, I mean,
with the not putting the wheels on the thing.
Yeah, not putting wheels is probably irresponsible. It's also, but people with their dogs is it's especially if they had the dog for a long time. It's like a family member.
No, I get it, but would you treat your child like that?
Would you drag I 100% agree with you.
No, I know it, and I know you wouldn't.
Yeah,
but that's why I have a problem with it because I'm like, regardless, and you're right. These people, it's like they're so disillusioned with their kid.
I do have an idea for you. What? You might disagree with it.
Should I approach them?
You should approach them and go over there and be like...
And put the dog out of its misery?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to put the wheels on for you.
That's too much, dude.
And I'm going to walk this dog for you.
No, because then I'm part of the problem.
You be the dog walker.
No, here's what I think. And I know you're going to hate me for it. That dog needs to go down.
No.
Okay. It doesn't need to be walked then.
It doesn't need to be walked.
It can be in the house. It can live its life.
It's probably... What if it's like...
But I'm just saying, like... They're so annoying. They're like, I don't know what their reasoning is. They're strange people.
But dogs are living beings.
Well, and that's why you shouldn't treat them that way.
They have feelings, right? And they know their senses are so high.
They're like, can you drag me through the sidewalk today?
They can
please?
Smell 10 times more than we can. They can hear 10 times more than we can. And they know they vibe off our feelings.
Then that dog's in hell right now. I'm gonna tell you.
The dog is probably suffering on that walk.
That's like being a POW. Like think about it.
But I think Ryan should volunteer to walk the dog.
That's a lot, dude. I'm not that good of a person. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll look you straight in the face. I'm not that good of a person. I'm just telling you. Look, I can fix everyone's problems in the world, I'm sure, but that's not gonna fix them. And the problem is them.
I think you should walk the dog.
Huh?
I'm gonna say it till.
Yeah, I think you should do it.
Where they live? I'll take.
They're like down the street from my house, but I'm not gonna do that. The dog doesn't need a walk. The dog just needs to be fed and drink water and let it shit somewhere. It's for sure on its last leg, bro.
But you could have some hip dysplasia or something wrong with the hips.
It's past that, bro, because even the front legs don't work. And with hip dysplasia, it's usually just the back legs, right?
That's a hard part with older people.
German Shepherds have it a lot.
It's almost like telling someone older that you can't drive.
Well, I'm not gonna ever tell them.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this segment is like, is this animal abuse?
What if you did go to them and you're like, hey, you fucking suck at walking your dog, and they just turn around and flip you off. Fuck you.
I mean, that's actually a good response, because that's a weird thing to tell someone. You suck at walking your dog. No, I think like
your dog is a POW right now.
I think the minute you say something, you're a Karen.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think the dog needs like look, it is the right thing to do, but you're not going to look like
There's no
the
one
hero.
to take that dog away. I don't even think the SPCA would take it away.
No, and that's not going to solve. Like, what does that do? They're just going to kill it.
Yeah.
It'll go somewhere and they'll put it down. I'm not saying the dog needs to get put down. I'm just saying maybe leave it home. You know?
Yeah.
You wouldn't take your son that can't walk.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
And put a leash on his neck and drag him down the street.
Someone has to tell him.
Well, like I said, they're like old people. And I don't know. You know this. They don't quite listen to us young folk.
Yeah.
They know a little better,
Yeah.
right? But the funny thing about this guy, before we end this segment pretty much, is like a year or two ago, before I even knew he had a dog, he would just go on these walks. And there was one time, I swear to God, he just yelled gibberish at my wife. I think I knew what he was trying to do, but it was strange because the sidewalk, they were redoing the sidewalk. She knew the sidewalk was out. She just didn't cross yet. She was walking with my son. He was screaming at her like she was going to fucking kill the whole family if they walked through the sidewalk, which she wasn't going to do. But I knew his intention was okay.
Yeah.
But he was just like, and I was just like, what the I looked at her and I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know, like, so he did it again. And my wife's like, you're such an asshole. Because I did it back to him. I was just like, what's that like shit? And I waved to him and like friendly.
Show the camera how you do
I was like, shut that up. And my wife's like, you're a fucking prick. And I'm just like, yeah, but I mean, I did it. I had a friendly smile and I waved at him.
You know,
I just was trying to say hi to him.
You're beefing with 7-year-olds?
No, I'm not beefing with them at all, but these are the same people that are killing their dogs slowly.
But what if he doesn't like you?
Maybe he's doing this to his dog to punish me.
Maybe that whole, like, his whole... Maybe his whole thing, like, the way he talked
fuck that guy.
was to fuck with you.
No, I really did. There was part of me that was like, this motherfucker's just playing games.
Yeah,
like, he's old and bored and good for...
Hey.
If that's the reason, then I like him.
You got to watch
We
out
could
for
be
those.
friends.
You ever seen fucking Clint Eastwood in that movie?
Get off my lawn?
No, Clint Eastwood in that
Gran
one movie.
Torino?
Yeah, Gran Torino.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
You got to watch out for him. He's going to walk up to you and go like this.
No, I'm not Korean. I'm fine.
He's going to show you a handgun out of his pocket and then...
Dude, listen, this old man would be like, get over here so I can shoot you. Like, you're safe. Someone over there is going to get killed. You're right here. You're fine.
He's going to listen to this podcast and be like, you think my fucking dick can get hard to a stick? Would you say?
Is he the one sending all that hate mail, dude? Fuck. I should have known.
So fucking...
And Freeman's the guy we need to talk to about setting up this MMA event. So,
dude, I do really want to set up this event.
we need to like have a coffee with him
Yeah.
and just
But
talk shit and see what we can figure out.
I want to do something that's going to give back to amateur fighters and amateur competitors. I do, man. I really want to.
So what's your plan with that idea?
I feel like a lot of people might not agree with me, but I feel like amateurs, like you're fighting, you're putting your body on the line.
I mean, you're risking your life still.
You're risking your life, even if you're doing a super fight. I believe that you should be, even if it's a super fight jiu-jitsu, that you should at least get some kind of compensation for it, right? You should be paid for it.
We talk about all the time. It's your time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember the amateur fights that would come up. We have these fighters or our fighters participate in, and it was like, sell these tickets for $50 each, and it's like you're doing all the hard work selling these tickets, and the promoter's making the money. You know what I'm saying? Like the promoter's making money. Like,
right.
We had one guy, he got paid like $100 for a fight, and it's like, dude, you're putting your body on the line. You're training, you're eating, you're following this diet, you're angry as fuck, and you're getting $100 for a fight, for an amateur fight. Like, come on now, dude.
Well, that's why I think it's cool to talk to him about it, because I definitely think he helps organize some of the events. So it'd be cool to see what areas, like, he could tell us price wise what we're looking at. But I was going to ask you this: when you hold an MMA fight, do you have to take out an insurance policy because accidental death, isn't there weird shit you
I think
have
we're
to?
gonna have to go through camo.
But when you do that, you got to pay for something,
Yeah.
right?
I think the first one I want to do is like a super jiu-jitsu fight where it's like submission only.
Okay, so we're not doing the
fighting.
MMA thing right away.
No, I want to start off with the submission.
I think that
grappling
might be
fight.
an easier way to figure it out.
And then go into the camo stuff. But,
Because that's going to be way less insurance, probably.
yeah, way less. And as we grow, we can figure.
Do you
it
know
out.
ballpark like what that is?
It's
Like,
probably going to be $1 million insurance policy. It has to be.
how the fuck are we going to afford that?
I don't know. Donations.
That's a hefty fee. That's a hefty fee.
Who knows? I mean, we got to look into it. I mean,
Yeah, but that's what I
Camo
mean.
might
We need to
have
talk to
something.
him.
Yeah, Camo
'Cause
might have something too.
He does amateur like boxing matches and
Okay.
bare knuckle stuff.
Oh, sweet.
He's done before.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope, dude.
So that's what I'm saying. We need to get him on here. We need to talk to him, have a coffee with him off camera, and
yeah.
figure it out. Because, dude, I really think like there's a reason we're all working together, and like it's funny that as soon as me and you were like thinking about this event, or really you pitching it to me, a week, no more than a week later, he reached out to me. You know, so it's just like I feel like everything happens for a reason, dude. We're all like on this fucking ship we call Earth. So it's cool that when our fucking paths collide and it makes sense, and we're like, oh, cool, you're here to help me do this, or hey, you know, let's figure this out.
I just really want to promote competitors at a different level.
Yeah.
Like really promote them. Like this is like we have the platforms to do it, not just with this platform, but our Instagrams to really promote these competitors to really, and it's like,
We need you guys to buy some fucking t-shirts. We need to get this fucking shit going.
yeah, dude. And it's like, I mean, we're only getting older, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting older. You're getting older. So I want to get something going before I'm too old to even do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So we could be like Dana half white.
yeah, I don't
Because
wanna
I'm
be,
white. Get
like,
it?
dude. Like honestly, bro, I'm only a couple years from 50. I
Yeah.
don't want to be 60 years old trying to put something on.
Yeah.
I'm fucking planning on being in Texas on a ranch by the time I'm 60. But I want to be able to get something going now before I get any older. And if we have to like even start it ourselves and like, okay, I'm going to participate 45 years old, jumping in a fucking ring or cage and fuck it. You know, if that's what it takes to get it going, then all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't want to do it, but if I
Right.
have to, fuck it, let's do it, you know? But
I'll tell
at
you
the
what,
same
dude,
time,
if
I
you
do
it-
want to promote.
If you do it, I'll do it. But
you and I are going to
Let me-
Thailand.
let
We're gonna go to that bar that has these fights in Thailand, and we're gonna fight.
I'll wear a Harley Davidson bandana.
Dude, it's gonna be fun. Dude.
I'll
We're
be the
gonna be
white
drunk.
guy. You could be Jean Claude.
Dude. So
I just don't want to end up in the
there's a
hospital.
bar in Thailand. If we haven't talked to you guys about this on the podcast yet, and they do one of my
Kumite, right?
one of my clients
it's
went
called
up there. One of my buddies went up there, and one of his kids fought in Thailand. They were drinking at a bar, and they fought in Thailand in a bar. It was a straight bar fight in a ring. So that's where.
But were they spectators going into that bar and then they were able to
They're
fight?
just regular normal
So you just
people.
sign up and they let you fight?
Go in there, have a drink, and then you just fucking
So I got a
fight.
question. Do they choose or do you choose?
No, they call you out. I believe you call you out, and then some random dude will pop up.
Cool.
who's
So they'll
like-
just choose the bracket.
Yeah, so say you and me were drinking at a bar, and I didn't know you. And
We
I'm
wouldn't
like, I
fight each other.
jump
Oh,
in.
right. We could if we didn't
Yeah,
know each other.
if we didn't know each other, I jump in the ring, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck this dude up." So you jump in the ring, we're both drunk, and then we fight.
Dude, I'd pull some shady shit though. I'd make a deal. I'd take a dive for some money, dude. What's the currency in Thailand?
I don't even hit you, you just fall.
I want to make some money, dude.
Yeah, dude. But that'd be the goal, dude. Is fighting in Thailand.
That would be sick, dude, to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd compete at all. But I mean, hey,
I'll do it at
after-
60 years old. I don't give a fuck. I mean, that's one of my what do you say when you want to get things done?
Yeah, bucket list.
My bucket list. It's a drunk fight
Just
in
don't
Thailand.
kick the bucket after you do that.
Oh, dude, I probably
'Cause
will.
that's
dude.
scary. That would be fun, dude. I would love to go and
It's all
just
fun,
watch
dude.
that.
Yeah.
Just be getting fucking loaded.
Yeah.
Just blasted. I'd
You're
be
just drunk and
stoned and
fighting.
drunk. I'd be
Just-
having the time of my life, just watching people kill each other.
Yeah. It's not even about killing. I mean, like,
Well, not
just-
figuratively, not
Yeah.
really killing each other, just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I don't know. Isn't it weird though that, I mean, like not all men like that, but like it is funny that we all like violence to some
Yeah.
degree.
Some degree.
I don't know. I do
mean,
enjoy it though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not about.
I don't think
at
in
that
real life
point-
we enjoy it. I think we
At our point, dude, in our age, bro, it doesn't matter if we win or lose anymore. It's just about having fun.
Dude, that experience, like you said, imagine the story.
Yeah.
Because and 60 is good because if you can live to 80 and you can tell a story about it.
Oh yeah.
And that story's gonna be fucking
I'm
great.
gonna be one of those old motherfuckers that's grumpy and just telling stories and fucking around, pulling pranks on my fucking kids and grandkids. Not giving a fuck. I'll be an old man just rolling down the fucking street,
firecrackers in people's mailboxes.
putting firecrackers, fucking rolling down naked and fucking in a wheelchair.
Naked. Fuck, dude. They'd have to call the animal control on
Fuck
you, dude. They'd taser your bare ass. They'd be like, we don't know what to do. He's just walking.
Why is he running naked in a walker?
He's so saggy that we can't see his private parts. So he's technically not naked.
Oh, dude, I'm using that. I'm using my age for everything when I get older. Fucking using that shit.
Wow.
For fun.
It's like Dave Chappelle said this. One of his funniest jokes. He's like, when I'm old, I'm going to be that crazy cracked out motherfucker on the sidewalk that's did on everything. On heroin, crack, just with the walker. Dude, but it's true because it's like, what do you have to lose, bro?
I have nothing to lose, dude.
When you're that old and the fact that you wake up, you're like, it's a miracle. One day I'm going to fuck. The wife is so straight edge, dude. And I love it. I don't ever pressure her to do drugs or anything. Yeah. Keep her pure. Because I'm a firm believer in do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But also, there's going to be a day where I'm just going to be like, we're going on a trip. And I may or may not tell her.
Going to Thailand?
No, I'm saying like I'm gonna drug her with acid. No,
fuck.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But dude, can you imagine how fucking great that'd be when you're both like 7 years old and you're just having coffee and you're just like
fucking acid. Oh yeah, dude.
Let's go.
I was telling shout out to Lucky, my tattoo artist. I got a tattoo recently and we're talking about being old. And I was like, if you're old and single in your past, like
just lay it down.
You're 65.
Yeah.
If you're like 65, 70, like, and you go overseas and you meet a chick and you're just like, am I going to raw dog this?
Do it.
Yeah.
If you're single, hey, look, you're already taking 1 million pills. You're just going to take other ones to help with the burning.
And there's like, if you catch something, it's like, fuck it. You're fucking only got a couple years to live. He's like, I didn't think about that.
Plus, you can bring it back home with you.
Yeah, dude.
You can share it with everyone else.
Don't do it.
Guess what I got for my trip?
Yeah, dude, don't do it.
No. Spread disease as much as you can, people. This is important. Keeps the population down.
What we got next, Ryan?
We should talk muscle growth.
Yeah, dude.
I've been feeling kind of swole lately. No, that's not why.
So I do want to talk about this. There is a huge trend in the jiu-jitsu world with steroids. I've noticed a lot of podcasters talking about this and a lot of articles about people competing at these high levels on steroids. In different levels. I think IBJJF tests though for steroids.
Well, I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, I think there's certain ones that test for steroids, but the other shows, there's, I don't know if ADCC tests for it, but
something popped in my head and I could be completely, I'm going to be an ignorant pig, but you know how ADCC is wrestling dominant?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a correlation with them not testing and that being the most wrestling dominant competition?
It could be.
But I'm not saying wrestlers dope, but that is the common stereotype with wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
That they dope and
they take steroids.
But I feel like when you're an Olympic wrestler, they test for that too, right?
There's some big motherfuckers, dude, in wrestling.
In the Olympics, though?
Well,
don't they test for PEDs in the Olympics?
Yeah, they do. They do.
So that means Kurt Angle and all those guys weren't on dope.
Dude, there's always ways people find out how to get around it.
That's true, because you get all that weird shit from a random third world country that they don't have on a fucking radar.
Well, look at Ryan Garcia. We're talking about Ryan Garcia the other day, and they're accusing him of being on steroids, right? But he's turning around and saying, like, Victor Conte, who's like friends with Devin Haney, is actually friends with Vada, the persons that did the testing. I actually found a picture of Vada, the president of Vada, which does the drug testing, and with Victor Conte together. And I posted that picture. They're all together in a group. But Devin Haney wasn't in the picture, but it was Victor Conte, and it was the president of Vada, or the doctor that runs Vada, and they're all in the picture, friends.
Right.
So Ryan Garcia is pretty much saying like they're friends and they're setting him up to say that he tested.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I read an article. When they test right before the fight, and they don't get those results back until after the fight anyway.
Which is stupid because why would
it
you
is
let
stupid.
someone?
I was just gonna say, at this day and age, with all the money involved, especially, there's a test that could be
Dude,
2 hours.
boxers are getting hit in the head all the time. I just seen a video of a boxer dying the other day. Like,
but I feel like that kind of goes along with the whole conspiracy that sports are fixed. And I feel like a lot of people wonder that.
Yeah, and it's
and fixed in the way not where people are taking falls, fixed in the way that like people are getting away with fucking doping when other people aren't. One Deebo Samuel from the 49ers tweeted in reply to the whole situation. He said, "You got outboxed either way."
Yeah.
He tweeted that.
Yeah.
You got outboxed either way.
He did.
How do you feel? I mean, yeah, but at the same time,
steroids is not going to go ahead. Sorry.
No. I agree with you. But also, then why even do it?
Steroids is not going to make you a better athlete. Well, I mean, skill wise, but it will make you stronger and faster. That way, athletic.
Heal quicker.
Yeah, heal quicker. But as far as your skills go, that's something that.
So then that's kind of what I'm going to ask you too, is like, how much of an advantage do you get then?
We'll say if you're,
because it's about speed more than muscle.
And your recovery's faster.
So
I think testosterone would give you more of that.
So
strength.
is this conditioning going to be better if you take steroids? That's what
it
I'm
depends.
wondering.
There's so many different steroids, right?
Is it
what
muscle
he's being
mass?
accused of is taking ostrin.
Do you know what that one does?
Ostrin
I don't know shit.
That one's a SARM.
So what does that mean?
SARM is like almost like they invented this thing with the SARM. It goes into receptors. The muscles turn the receptors into a steroid, right? So these things that turn the muscles into the muscles turn into a steroid, the receptors, right? So all it's doing for him is like increasing his testosterone a little bit. Testosterone boost if he did take that.
But
SARM is more like, I look at SARMs like it being like a legal way of taking steroids, but also because they sell it legally over the counter, you can find it in different muscle vitamin shops.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a poor hormone, right? Poor hormones, they banned poor hormones because of the damage they were doing with the liver.
Right.
There were so many poor hormones that people were taking, even baseball players were taking poor hormones that were causing the receptors to grow and your body's responding to it like testosterone and growth hormone and all the other shit, right? But they started banning it because of the liver damage people were getting from it. There was commercials even coming out like if you took this, like the methyl pro hormone, like methate or whatever it was called,
right?
It was causing liver damage to you.
Well, do you think the TRT shit that we have now we're going to see that in 10 years? Hey, this is
TRT
kidney and liver damage.
I don't think so. It just depends because they're monitoring your blood. They're actual doctors.
But that's for the people that are doing it properly.
People that are abusing it, are the ones that are going to see it as, I don't know so much liver, but it makes your blood thicker, right? So your blood
so you can clot.
The heart
attacks.
Heart is going to be a little bit thicker because they took I seen a study where they took someone that was on steroids, they took the blood, they spun it, and the blood was thicker than the bottom, like your normal blood.
That's scary.
So that's what testosterone does. But also the male body needs testosterone after a certain age. We have to produce it, right? Because other things can start happening.
So no wonder guys that are all roided out drink so fucking much.
Well, it's also like if our bodies are stopping producing testosterone, like we can start getting weight gain, we start getting lazy, our libido goes down.
Right.
So we need testosterone at a certain age for
definitely.
our body. But
at that point too, you probably shouldn't be boxing professionally.
Yeah, you shouldn't be boxing professionally. But there's so many different things now. I mean, so many different steroids, that people were taking.
But then speaking of which, we've talked about this before. Tyson's going to fight. I hope that fight's not rigged, but part of me I don't trust prize fights, man.
He has to be on TRT. He's.
Oh no, I know 60s, that, but I'm saying like.
But I saw Jake Paul recently, and he's like weighing at 230 for this
he's
fight.
Like
but
fucking
he has
30
to be
years younger, dude.
He's also taking.
Your testosterone's gonna be fucking way higher.
But your body responds a lot faster. So like, I remember in my 30s, I sparred somebody that was 21 years old getting ready for a fight, and I got hit so many times. in the boxing match, I actually got rocked, and I had to go full speed, like as hard as I can, just to stop because I was getting hit so hard.
Yeah.
And I was getting rocked. And at that point, it's like, okay, now you know there's a little bit of a difference, like in your 30s compared to, say, in your 35 compared to a 21-year-old who's like ready to kill.
Oh,
their
yeah.
testosterone's fucking pumping, dude.
I mean, but I think back then we got so much free energy. You know what I mean? Like
It's also the food we're eating.
Well, but back then we weren't eating healthy. I wasn't eating healthy when I was younger.
Oh yeah,
I was just burning fucking calories.
But that's why a lot of these kids are taking these steroids like testosterone, tren. They're not realizing the damage they're doing to their body.
Oh, 100%, because they're not. Those kids aren't getting blood work.
No.
And they don't need testosterone replacement therapy.
Like a king, they feel like a god because they're taking all this shit. But as they get
They don't
older,
even need it.
they're gonna realize like, fuck, dude, I fucked myself up. My liver's damaged. My kidneys damaged.
Well, so I'm wondering
heart's
too.
Damaged.
Can you like tap out your T levels? Like,
oh yeah,
if you start fucking maxing them when you're 15, what happens when you're 27?
Dude, you're gonna have to be on testosterone the rest of your life.
That's what I mean. Your 27-year-old you is gonna be like a 50-year-old, right?
Goodbye to your kids.
Right.
Like,
well, if you have them,
you have fucking medicine that's
you either got 20 of them or you got 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens to bodybuilders. Bodybuilders get to the point of getting so big. Some of them, like, if you look at some of them, if you look at some of them that died at a young age, like 23, 24, 25, who were at that, there was like one, I think it was McCarver. I forgot his Dallas McCarver. He was going to be an Olympian at the Olympia, Mr. Olympia. And he was like 24, 25 years old, but he was so big and ended up having like.
It's always like a heart attack, right?
Yeah, it was from his,
stroke.
It was like eating chicken. They say he choked on it, but it was a fucking heart attack probably. You know, you're taking so much shit and you're putting in your body. I mean, these guys are taking testosterone. They're taking tren. They're taking Anavar for cutters. They're taking fucking Winstrol to cut. They're taking, there's so many different drugs they're taking in their body, especially growth hormone. Not only that, they're taking insulin. Insulin can kill you on the spot. You take insulin.
Why are they taking that? Are they diabetic?
No, the insulin's
why are you taking
more
insulin?
of a veinies, more of a cutter. You know, they're getting their bodies.
Oh, geez. So they're overdoping the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the insulin acts like a carb.
But I mean, either way, like you said, there's effects to that.
Yeah, I don't know sure what insulin does, but there are bodybuilders that take insulin. You could die on the spot from taking insulin, from what I understand. I'm not a doctor, but
well, I feel like you shouldn't be messing with shit like that.
But I mean, imagine you have people in this MMA world and jiu-jitsu who are taking these amounts of steroids to be a better athlete, more powerful, stronger. They're benching fucking 4 plates, squatting 4 or 5 plates, 6 plates.
To me, like, and I don't give a fuck what people think about this. I think pro athletes should be able to take steroids. And the reason I say this is because they're putting it all on the line.
I think we'll see a lot more deaths.
I don't think you would see more deaths with steroids.
I think we would.
You think the roid rage is the thing?
I think
it's more the CTE that was. I think steroids got blamed for a lot of CTE because back in the day CTE was not a thing, and they didn't know that the brain was damaged, so they were correlating it to something that was put into the body and not studying the brain. And now that they're studying the brain, they're realizing the people that weren't even using steroids are having trauma and affecting. If
they were assigned to doctors to do their blood work, I think it'd be fine. But
that's why if it's legal, that would happen because they would have the medical staff for the team to do it. But when it's illegal, that's when you got people fraudulently doping. You got people ODing. You got people doing too much. So
you think? But do you? I mean, this is a question. Do you think a 23-year-old who's coming into the UFC should be allowed to take steroids as a pro athlete?
I think if other people are doing it, yes, they should because it's an even playing field. I think it should be.
But they're fucking up their bodies for the rest of their life for entertainment purposes.
But here's the thing: I don't think it. That's the problem with this because once you make it legal, if 80% of the league is taking steroids, 20% of the league that says we're not going to do it are fucked.
So if we're doping athletes, why don't we dope our soldiers that are going overseas and fighting for our country?
Oh, I think they do. I think
with steroids.
Well, I think didn't they say that's what Agent Orange? Didn't they say that's what all the crazy shit they did in Vietnam was?
If we go to war tomorrow with fucking Russia, do you think our military men and women should be put on fucking testosterone and fucking tren and fucking be fucking
I think
killers.
they should be put on something that makes them hyper alert.
But I don't know if there's a steroid that's going to make you hyper alert.
Well, then no.
Testosterone to give you that drive.
Well,
to
would
fucking
steroids? Here's the other question: are steroids bad with dehydration? Do they make you dehydrated more?
I think you drink more water just to kind of.
So that wouldn't be good for soldiers because especially if they're out in the desert.
Testosterone would be if we're pumping up with testosterone and they have a 2,000 count, right, which is super high, right? If it's a 1,500 count, you're like, yeah, I feel good,
yeah,
right. But if you put them at 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, they're fucking killers.
Well, but smelling salts are legal. You can rip one of those before you go into a fucking building.
Yeah, but testosterone.
I've never done that.
Through them all
no,
day.
I know that.
All day.
But I'm saying smelling salts are legal too.
But a 23-year-old taking testosterone is insane with his testosterone. I mean,
but
goodbye to their fucking kids. They'll never have kids, dude.
Well,
I mean, they probably could, but if they're doing it for so long, they're shutting their whole system down.
But also, I feel like it's part of this too. I feel like no matter how far along we come as a society, anything that's taboo is going to be abused. And the minute the taboo part goes away, the abuse goes away. Like think about like, I don't know.
So you think we should legalize it?
I think certain things need to be legalized for that reason.
But there's 21-year-olds that want to.
But here's the thing: what's the worst thing that can happen with steroids?
They can kill themselves.
Right, but are steroids healthier than cigarettes?
That should be banned too.
Sure, but I'm just saying it won't be.
I know
it's not going to be. We can't take cigarettes out of it.
Why do you think steroids are banned though? What's your reason? I don't know, but why do you think they're banned?
Well, I don't know a lot about it either, but
from
from what I understand, steroids are bad for your health because of the blood thing. But other than that, I feel like, because not to get off too much of a tangent, but Chris Benoit, you know that whole story with him, the wrestler that killed his family? Dude, originally the news was portraying that as roid rage. Originally. They were blaming that whole situation on steroids. Guess what? It wasn't steroids, dude. That motherfucker had head trauma. He had 20 years of slamming his fucking head into shit. 20 years of that. Dude, you're going to be fucked up. Like, that's... Same with Junior Seau, right?
But how about like someone average?
Those guys had CTE. It wasn't steroids.
I played football, and then also went out for junior college football, and then I did my wrestling and MMA, and I've been boxing and sparring, and I still jiu-jitsu now, and I still coach MMA.
I think it could be an unfair advantage if not.
So do you think I'm
going
to have CTE over that?
No, I think other shit you've done in your life is probably giving you that. I feel like, but that's
if I was to juice up, you don't think I would have road rage?
Yeah, but I don't think you're.
I think a lot of it had to do with Chris Benoit has something to do with road rage too, because it caused depression, not just a CT on top.
Yeah, but depression doesn't make you kill your whole family.
Okay, I don't know.
What I'm saying is CTE.
Do that.
What I'm saying is when you have so much head trauma, which is your head hitting shit, eventually your brain just will die. Parts of it are just going to start dying, right?
You don't think depression can make you kill your whole family?
No.
At all?
I've been at my lowest, and that never even came up to me.
So you think there's something else that was wrong with him?
100%, but I also think that it was more in line with his head trauma. I don't think it was related to steroids. I'm not saying roid rage isn't real, but I'm saying there's degrees of it.
Yeah. You ever seen...
roid rage, getting mad at someone for honking at you is different than killing your whole fucking family.
Have you ever seen that one movie? It was a high school football movie. It was back in the days. And
Varsity Blues?
No, it's older than that. The guy's lifting weights. He's on steroids.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like junior college called The Program, right?
The Program.
Yes,
that
with James Caan and that crazy motherfucker that puts paint on his face.
And he puts fucking head into the windows.
And he's cleaning his piss before the drug test.
A 20-year-old taking steroids, a 21-year-old playing sports. That's what I picture.
But see, that movie painted it like steroids made that fucker crazy. That fucker was just crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Can we agree?
But I do.
Do you think steroids made him crazy, or do you think? I think he was a nut to begin with.
I do believe that steroids will fuck a young person up 100%. Even SARMs. You know, SARMs that are selling to these kids nowadays is just another way for these companies to make profit. Even taking your local creatine, taking your protein, people might disagree with me.
Well, and that could snowball.
But we don't know what the fuck they're putting in that shit now. There's not FDA approved.
Well, there's that, but also, like you said, these kids are developing. Like their bodies are still developing till what, the age of like 24? Don't men develop till like 24?
Especially your brain.
Women are done at like 18, I think. But men, it's like Yeah, we're into the 20s. So I agree. When you're taking supplements or anything that's altering your chemistry before those developmental years, I feel like there's going to be adverse effects for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. But I feel like when I was just saying about professional sports, like when you're a professional, I feel like those guys are already like risking their lives, dude.
How about,
you know what I mean?
how about this one? So we talked about the military taking steroids. We talked about fighters taking steroids. How about cops? You trust a cop with a gun who's taking steroids?
See, now that's when I would. There's.
But you did
right.
say road rage.
But here's the thing.
What
I did, but here's the thing. Those wrestlers and those people I'm talking about aren't responsible for public safety. So now that's a different part. That's a different thing that we need to consider. So,
but how about
roid rage is real. I wouldn't want someone that's judgment is clouded. So no, I don't. But I agree that there's an advantage because if the cop has a wrestling match or he has to fight 4 people.
Yeah, what if you got a dude that's coming out of prison who's just done a fucking 100,
they should
300
put this
burpees,
shit in canisters and they should just shoot it, right?
400 burpees, who's doing burpees all fucking day.
Oh, 100. No, I get you.
And then you got a cop who's like,
that guy needs it. But the guy who's doing a traffic stop probably doesn't.
but they're all the same because they're all doing
Exactly.
traffic stops. So
And that's the problem, is it's situational, right?
Yeah.
Like you just said, it's like there's situations where this is necessary and there's situations where why the fuck is this even happening?
do you think it's necessary for jiu-jitsu guys to take steroids?
I don't think steroids are necessary at all. But I do think.
So you think we should test all levels at all jiu-jitsu tournaments for steroids?
Well, the problem with that is that costs money. And entry fees, we're already talking about how entry fees are expensive. Guess what? Your entry fees are going to probably double the minute they have to test for steroids.
There's one thing I wanted to talk to you about too. I got to take a quick break though.
Now we got to take a whiz.
Yeah.
I feel it. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Have you ever wanted to be a pro wrestler as a kid? Why wait? Train with the best in all of San Joaquin County. They train out in Lodi, California, and they in the fundamentals, psychology, and more. Pro wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and combat sports. Live your dream. 209 Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Mike Hayashi is the head coach and has over 20 years of wrestling experience with the main event Michael Sean as a coach as well, and Matt Big MF Freeman is the trainer. DM them at 209 Dragon's Den on Instagram. Shout out to the 209 Click boys. Thank you.
Shout out. All right, guys, we're back. We're talking about testosterone and I was just
Muscle growth and all that too.
Yeah, another way I like to grow muscle for me is a lot of people when they work out, they like to go super hard, super fast, right? Like it's just I've learned at my age that when we work out, we got to more focus on not just the weight, but it's also the technique,
Right.
like jiu-jitsu.
Like form.
The form, and then I also do a lot of like squeezing, slow motion. I don't just go really fast and try to work out fast, right? I like to go like really slow reps, squeeze, flex that muscle, and then come back up. So if I'm doing like a bench press, I'm gonna come down slow. I'm not a big. I've never been huge on bench pressing. I'm more of a dumbbells. I feel like dumbbells are gonna get more of a workout.
Is it because you're working more muscle groups at once?
Yeah, it's just
the
I
dumbbells?
feel like you could blow your shoulders out a lot faster with bench press because you're overloading. A lot of people overload.
And it's only like 1 or 2 muscles. It's like you're latsing your shoulders, right? And your chest.
Yeah, a lot of people will do the bench press wrong, and so they're overloading the shoulder muscles,
Right.
and they're putting all that muscles on the delts, so they're just trying to press all this muscle. I mean all the weight. So I use more of the dumbbells where I'm more contracting the muscle, pushing up slowly, and I think you're breaking up that muscle fascia tissue a lot faster.
Yeah.
So we have the fascia that's over the muscle. That's what we want to break up. So I focus on breaking that up a lot more than I do trying to push like heavy weight.
Right.
I'll go heavy on maybe a pull down on some back, but I don't really try to go heavy. Not even because I have a blown rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is completely tore. I had to go to rehabilitation for it. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, you were faking it," but no, my whole fucking rotator cuff was blown, and I went to rehab for it, and I was supposed to have surgery in it. Just chose not to do the surgery, but the doctor did say like by the time you're maybe 60 that you're gonna need surgery because now you're gonna have arthritis on top of it.
So sometime this year you should probably get it.
I should get it, yeah, but I mean I got so much shit going on right now.
I think you could probably schedule it after November.
Yeah, I should get it. Hint.
Okay. Just wink at the camera. Well, I was gonna ask you too. Like, what's your pre-workout regimen?
Like
Pre and post.
Like what I
Do
take?
both.
I take amino acids,
Okay.
and then I'll take a shitload of steroids on top of that.
Because what do amino
No, I'm
acids
just
do?
playing.
Does that help? You weren't joking about the amino acids though.
No, I'll take amino acids, help with recovery. I actually take that before my workout.
Right.
So I'll take. I used to be big on creatine, but I stopped taking creatine, so I started getting a lot of water weight in my
Right.
face.
Because I heard that's the main thing with creatine, just
Yeah.
water retention.
So when I was doing a lot of powerlifting, I did a lot of creatine. One of my powerlifting days, I was like squatting a lot. So I would keep it very basic. So I did my bench press when I was doing dumbbells, not just regular bench press, dumbbells. Right. And then the incline though, I would do incline presses with the regular bench, and that I would do 3 plates and a 25 on each side, for my inclines. So I was really heavy on that part,
Right.
which is probably what made my shoulder tear
Okay.
a lot faster, because I remember like feeling like pinches in my shoulders, and I was like, and that was like 2020, and then 2023, it's when I tore my shoulder with 15 pounds. I was lifting 15 pounds and I fucking tore my shoulder.
Dude, so that thing was probably just like on a string.
It was just ready to tear.
And it just as soon as you
Fucking
lifted
pop.
that, boop.
I couldn't even lift my arm up high. I had to go. Yeah, it sucked.
Oh,
But
dude.
I don't take protein powder. I will take protein powder if I feel like I need it, but I feel right now like
You just eat like the food that's protein heavy and like peanut butter and shit like that.
yeah, I eat like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's kind of what I do. I don't really.
'Cause
I haven't been doing the protein powder.
If I was getting ready like to compete, like back in the days, even for like, this is to say I was gonna be a bodybuilder, right? If I was, I would follow like the chicken fish diet, and then the carbs, and then go off. So the way I learned is like look at the mirror, and the way your body looks in the mirror is what you should go off when you're lifting weights. So if you're looking
Because
like,
you want to combat the areas that.
yeah, so if you have
flabby.
if you don't have a 6-pack, of course you
work
want to
abs.
cut down your more abs and
Right,
cut down your
diet
carbs.
more. Right.
Cut down your carbs.
Like
But
me.
you got to really know what you're doing when it comes to that bodybuilding aspect, because if you're cutting down too much,
Your muscle mass is going to go down
yeah,
too.
your muscle goes down
Right.
too. So you got to kind of know where it was
Yeah,
at. I used to
the
train with this pro
balance.
bodybuilder named Paul Alone. He competed in Mr. America. I trained with him, and then
Jeez.
shout out to Kurt Chidwick. He trains down in Venice Beach, and he was he's a buddy of mine, and I trained with him, and he was a pro bodybuilder, and he trains pro athletes, pro bodybuilders down in Venice, even movie stars. He's a really good guy. His name's Kurt Chidwick.
He's one of those dudes working out
Body
in
by-
Venice Beach.
Body by Kurt, huh?
He's working out in Venice Beach.
Yeah, he works out in Venice Beach. He
Oh,
trains
that's
out at the
cool.
old Mecca,
That's
Mecca
sick.
gym down there, and he taught me a lot, dude. He was like, one day he was like, dude, you want to see what a workout is? Fucking came down there and we started working out, and it was like 30 minutes. I was already puking my guts out because they fucking go hard.
Oh yeah.
They go hard.
Probably
They don't-
burpees.
No, not even
No?
burpee. It's just the way they lift. It's like
Dang.
it's intense. Like you're lifting.
Because it's just you're doing
you're
speed.
doing a lot, not even speed. You're doing a lot of squeezing, a lot of flexing, a lot of holding the weights, a lot of movement. Like you're just constantly like repping. You're squeezing.
There's like no
You're
breaks.
focusing on that, breaking that tissue up
Really. Right.
to build. And it's just, yeah, there's really no breaks. It's like 30 minutes. Just
Just a
consistently-
30-minute
Fucking-
circuit.
Yeah, you're wore out, dude. There's a pumping iron with Arnold.
Right.
There's a part where Arnold's lifting with his work partner. I think his name was Ernest or something, but he's doing like reps of like 2 plates, just up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way ass to the grass. And you're just going to failure. You're going to fucking puke your guts out.
Well, muscle exhaustion. I mean, that I read too that that's what Bruce Lee used to do, not with weights,
Yeah.
but he did muscle exhaustion. Like he just worked out to the point where he couldn't move, and that dude was so shredded though.
Yeah. Just imagine if we went to class tomorrow and they're like, you're going to do an hour of just straight takedowns, but you're going to do slow where you're picking the guy up and dropping him down and controlling his body weight.
I'm gonna tell you right now, after about 10 minutes, you're gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
That's what it's where you're working that tissue out.
So it's conditioning, too. Yeah.
There's poor bodybuilders that really don't, they do cardio, but their cardio is very limited. It's like walking stairs. They're not jogging. They're not running.
Right. Well, because they probably hurt themselves with all the weight they have.
And it's also like they don't want to burn their muscle.
They could probably swim, but I feel like running would be high impact on those joints.
They do a lot of stairs. a lot of stair workouts, a
Pretty high
Stairmaster.
impact. Yeah. It's good workout for the legs and butt, though.
They don't want to burn the muscle they got. They want to burn the fat. The more cardio you do, or quick running, they're doing sprints. They do sprints. Have you ever seen sprinters? Olympic sprinters?
Yeah.
They're built like fucking horses.
Yeah.
They're fucking ripped.
Because you have to be explosive.
But yeah, that's what they're doing, explosive workouts.
Yeah.
Same thing with bodybuilders.
Well, it's just like linemen on a football field.
Yeah.
They're the biggest guys out there, but they're the fucking quickest.
Well, look at...
And what I mean by that is they're from start to finish, they have the explosivity, and you need size and muscle with that.
Well, think about it. If I just told you to run 2 miles, and you run 2 miles every single day, and then you go to 5 miles, 10, 20 miles, you think you're going to be buffed?
No. I'm going to be skinny as a bean. I'm going to be as thin as a fucking string bean.
And with a beard coming down. He's like fucking, what's that guy's name that ran the marathons in that movie?
Forrest Gump?
Yeah, you look like Forrest Gump, dude.
I love being compared to special needs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
I love you, Jen.
I love you, Jay.
Even when you got AIDS and you're shooting heroin,
There's a
I
box
love
of chocolates.
you.
But
That's
I mean,
a good movie.
I think that's when it comes to working out, it's just you got to pick and choose your battles with either.
Well, it's a balance, like you were saying.
Yeah,
Because if you do too much of one thing, then it's
people. I see people all the day in the gym. They're when they're working out in the gym, they're either on their phones and they're not focusing on the body group they're working out, or they're consistently just moving with momentum too fast. They're not focusing on flexing that muscle, getting that muscle growth, or squeezing that muscle.
yeah.
Right? Like they're just like quick, boom, boom, boom.
Well, I think a
boom,
lot of
done.
people go and think they know what they're doing, and they just keep doing it.
Dude, look at guys in prison. Guys in prison, they don't do full push-ups. They do halfway push-ups.
No, they do because you get a better pump.
They get
right?
a pump.
Yeah.
You want to pump that muscle.
Yeah.
That's why these motherfuckers look like they're on juice when they're coming out.
Yeah, 'cause they get those pumps.
Fucking-
Well, I was gonna ask you, so because I watch videos, like exercise videos. Clearly, I don't do it.
We're drinking beer and talking health.
Yeah. Well, this is a Stella Artois. It's 95 calories. No, I'm kidding. No, but what I was gonna say was, what is the definition of like, what's the whole idea of a pump? Is it like the best form to get the most out of that muscle?
Well, like
group?
Arnold says, pump is like coming.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's
no
like the whole
better
point of
feeling.
lifting, right? If you
So-
can get the pump, that's what you want because it's tearing the muscle.
You're
right?
you're tearing down the muscle.
Right.
In your rest days, you're rebuilding that muscle.
Okay. Because I'm
So-
kind of dumb, so I gotta
Tearing down
simplify
that fascia
all right.
tissue. You're tearing down that fascia. You want to break that fascia to get a bigger muscle.
And that's
let both grow.
that's what's considered the pump.
Yeah. the
Okay.
pump.
Because I always, when I hear pump, I would always think, oh, just when your muscles flexing, like, oh, pump, we got to pump.
No, you want to
But
get
it's
to the
an
point like, so if I do triceps and I'm pumping my triceps, right?
Yeah.
And I'm at a good rate, and then I'm flexing triceps at the end, coming back slowly for that pump. We're coming back slowly for that contraction, and coming back down, and really getting that pump. I'm really getting that flex in.
Yeah.
Before you know, when I let go of that bar, my arm's fully pumped. So if I even try to flex it, it tightens up like I'm feeling a cramp. But it's
So
not
it's
a cramp.
tired.
It's fucking pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point when I was working out so much, it would be like back in the days, like my muscles would twitch. That's how I'd wear them out.
So they were super tired.
Super
yeah.
tired. But I never go more than 45 minutes in the gym.
That's smart.
People overwork themselves.
Isn't it weird though that like people like The Rock and pro athletes work out and
Well, the Rock's on hella juice.
sure, but NFL players work out 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, but they're on a whole different level.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, is that why their bodies are getting broken down sometimes? Because they're just doing so much in such little time.
I think The Rock works out once a day, and he works out.
But doesn't he say he works out like 12 hours or some shit?
He doesn't work out
I
12
don't know
hours
how true
straight.
that
There's
is,
no
but-
way.
He works out a lot though. But
I think
when-
he works out every day, maybe 12 hours a week.
But don't you think too, though, like you were saying about the age thing, like once you get to a certain age and he's up there.
I mean, he has to break down his body to the point where he knows his body best, where he's going to break it down. The Rock will break it down, and then whatever else he's taking, and the rest stays in his diet. He has chefs that makes his food.
Oh yeah, he's a nutritionist. and
Yeah,
everything.
so he has
same with the
things
NFL players.
So he and whatever
they're
else,
eating, right?
and the steroids he's taking on top of that is what's making his body.
Well, but what I mean,
You know, real quick before
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So The Rock posted that he's making this smashing machine,
Oh, the movie about the wrestler.
Yeah, and so it came out ESPN, like, or whatever they're
He
showing.
doesn't look like the guy at all.
So I went on there in Tactical Ink, and I was like, I'll spar The Rock.
Did he respond?
No. I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, like you're fucking
dude. Let's get him
50s
on the cast, dude.
He might be a big motherfucker, but he doesn't know how to wrestle. Like wrestling is different. WWF wrestling, elbows coming down, scripted.
He also
jiu-jitsu wrestling, the wrestling that we do, Greco freestyle wrestling. He don't know how to do that shit. He's a football player, dude.
Hold on. I got your back. You know that. But hold on. You just said he has a nutritionist and a chef. You don't think he has a private trainer that teaches him that shit?
He has private trainers right now that are teaching him, like UFC
So
fighters.
he probably knows it.
Are teaching them.
Think about Zuckerberg.
Yeah, but you think he's going to get good within 6 months of training?
But I don't think he's been training for only 6 months. I think The Rock's been training for years. He just probably doesn't publicize all the training he does.
I don't know. So if we just put The Rock against Nick Diaz, who do you think is going to win?
The Rock against Nick Diaz in what? An MMA fight?
Yeah, there was a beef between them because there wasn't beef, but he didn't like it, the fact that he was supporting Masvidal when he came out during the BMF fight.
That's just a weird fucking matchup. I don't know how
Nick Diaz fucks him up all day.
Nick Diaz?
Yeah, Nate Diaz too.
Nate Diaz too? Yeah. I mean, I know everyone in this conversation would fuck me up, but
The Rock is big. Dude, size doesn't
matter.
Like,
I agree with you. I agree with you. But
I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds.
But how hard is it to knock a person?
But there's dudes out there that are 150 pounds that knock me the fuck out.
Right, for sure. But have you ever knocked a motherfucker out that's like 6'7" and 300 pounds?
I've been knocked out by a 6'5" guy.
Right, but have you?
It was George. He knocked me out in a fucking sparring match.
The only point I'm trying to make is: have you ever knocked a guy that big out? Because I feel like that does mean something. Like even to Nick Diaz, like
I'm not saying that
has he fought a guy? Has he fought a super heavyweight?
Win against him.
Well, I think their technique might be better, but I feel like just as much as jiu-jitsu world demonizes strength, I think it's a huge aspect of jiu-jitsu, and I think it's stupid that people say you shouldn't use it, but I think strength has a lot to do with a lot, and I think you're right. I think it goes on athleticism. Who's more athletic and who can move better and who's trained to last the length of the fight. I think that's what's going to determine who's better, because I don't think I could even size someone up that simply.
So here it is. Rock. The Rock. I'm addressing you. I'm a nobody. I'm just a fucking hobbyist in jiu-jitsu. I've been boxing my whole life. I've been wrestling for a very long time, doing MMA shit. But I'm a nobody. I'm addressing the camera and I'm addressing you. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm a struggling motherfucker. But I will fucking spar you. And there it is. I will spar you. I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds. If you need a sparring partner for the Smashing Machine, fly me out. I'm not saying I'll beat you, but you never fucking know. There it is.
There it is.
Can you smell what I'm cooking, motherfucker?
I can. It smells like deviled eggs. I'm just kidding.
All jokes aside, dude, but that was pretty good promo.
Cheers.
That was pretty good.
I was like, I was smiling, but I didn't want to fuck up the moment. I
think, yeah.
No, you're vibing.
Yeah. I think I could be a pro wrestler, dude.
I think it's an important part of your ego.
Yeah.
I think whenever I see a pro wrestler like do a promo, cut a promo that's sick, like back in the day when we watched Raw and stuff, I was like, dude, this really is acting, because you have to fucking convince the people you're talking to that everything you're saying is not only true, but it's going to happen. Yeah. And I know it's going to happen.
Dude, I'd probably be so starstruck if I saw The Rock. He's like, yeah, fly out here and spar. I'd be like, dude, can we just hang out?
I think my voice would change.
I'm like, hey,
hi,
can we just work out?
Hi, I'm a beta bitch.
I really didn't want to spar you. I just came down here to work out with you.
He's all, I know. Yeah. Here's some Team Rock shoes and Project Rock. I mean,
and can you buy me a truck?
Right, now you're pushing it.
I see you gave your stunt guy a truck.
See, he was on board, and then when you said truck, he's all, fuck this guy.
Dude, Vince McMahon, give me a gel. Give me one, man. Give me a deal.
So what's your post-workout regimen? And this isn't necessarily nutrition.
Dude, I eat
this
like
could
shit,
be
bro.
like
I went to the doctor the other day. I had my blood work done. Everything's fine. I eat like shit though. I ain't gonna lie. Everything's supposedly the doctor. Everything was good, but I eat like if I was like I'm 44 years old, so I'm gonna be 45. So if I was in my 30s, even now I should be watching. Before, like, so I hate dieting. So when I dieted before, I have pictures. Maybe we could post them up. But when I would diet, I get down to like probably like even for MMA like 200 pounds, 185s, and it took a lot. Like I wouldn't work out. My post workouts would be chicken, a lot of chicken, a lot of fish.
what I was gonna say though too is like, what do you do any like healing stuff? Like some people do like cold plunges, hot baths, salt baths. Like, is there anything like that?
Like
you
cold
do?
plunges. I mean, I think there was even in my 20s what I did. I did smoke weed. I'm not a big
shame
weed
on
smoker,
you.
but I
Devil
did
lettuce.
before I got into my jobs. I did smoke weed. That would help me recover, relax my body, and recover a lot, especially after like good sparring sessions. You know, just getting the shit kicked out of you.
Well, it helps with inflammation. That's the main thing. It really does.
Yeah, I probably got brain damage just from sparring people. I mean, it's just
And from the weed. No, I'm
because I
kidding.
would travel to different gyms and spar. But even like working out, like it was just the weed, and then I had like even the guys I would train with, they'd call me RB sometimes because I would like love to go to Arby's and I would smell like Arby's during sparring sessions.
Fucking roast beef.
But I couldn't get past. Like one guy was like, I couldn't get past 220. He's like, you're fat as fuck. I'd be like, dude, I can't get past 220, and like I would like stop Arby's, so I would stop eating out fast food.
Fucking Arby's.
And then if I went to fast food, I would get I would go to like Chipotle, but it wasn't Chipotle. It was there's another one.
What is it called? Baja Fresh.
Kind of like that, but I would get the bowls. It would be like a rice, beans, whole beans, and then chicken. So I would eat that,
Okay.
and that was my dinner. And then I stayed away from the proteins because I felt like the proteins were only making me bloated. So when you walk around at 260, and there was times I would walk around 270 and trying to cut down to like 200 or 185, it's a lot of weight, dude. That's
When
a
I
lot
think
of
the
weight.
bloating goes along with like the whey, because whey is a dairy byproduct.
Oh yeah, my wife tries to get me to
Dairy
eat clean
gets
now.
me bloated.
She tries to get me to eat clean now, and I hate it
Yeah.
because I work out so much. But then I'm like, fuck, dude, you know.
I mean, I hate to say it too, because I hate dieting, but I think it really is like,
I
what we
dieted
need
so
to do.
much. You know, even growing up playing football, I dieted.
I think dieting is what's going to keep us alive, dude.
It is. We got so much fucking processed foods now. But you know what I don't do? I don't eat ice cream at night. If I eat ice cream, it's 0 calories.
What the fuck? Ugh. How's that taste?
I do Diet Coke, 0 Coke.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was nasty. I drink fucking shitload of water.
But you know what? When you need your fix, it's better than nothing. I get
Here's
it.
a bad habit, though. I do have a bad habit eating salami.
Nah, but because it's cured meats.
Yeah, I eat salami. And then another part I would do is eat
Salami's
turkey
pretty
by
good.
itself.
Oh, just eating it out of the fridge.
Just turkey meat by itself.
Yeah, like
just
the
eat out of
luncheon
fish.
meat. Yeah, I do that shit.
So I just eat that by itself for protein. But I don't like the weird part. Like I eat a lot of burritos. I ain't gonna lie. I eat a lot of like carne asada burritos. We have rice, beans, or
I
carbs.
love flour tortillas.
It has carbs in it. You got your
Yeah.
carbs. You get your rice, beans, carbs. You get all that shit.
But I prefer flour over corn.
yeah.
I mean, tacos, I like the corn, but God, man.
So my
Something about a
workouts are
nice
so
fatty
intense.
flour
My
tortilla.
workouts are so intense in 30 minutes. Like 30 to 45 minutes. I have intense workouts where I break
You
down
need to
enough.
eat all that shit.
Yeah, and then I go to jiu-jitsu after, and I train jiu-jitsu. I train like 5 days a week. So my body's constantly, and then I train dogs. So
Well,
I'm training dogs and walking dogs and running dogs all day. If I dieted, I'd probably be like 180 pounds.
But also, I wonder too. Like, I know your schedule doesn't permit this, but I wonder if lifting after jujitsu would be better for you. And I think it would.
Probably would,
Because
but
I
it's
think
just
it
my fucking
loosens you
schedule.
up.
Yeah.
And I feel like the problem with lifting is it tightens you up.
Yeah, it
And
does.
I feel like that's the last thing you want. But schedule permitted, you got to do what you got to fucking do.
Yeah, I do it early in the morning, and that's where I run into Coach AJ Sams at the gym. Shout out to him again.
But he's doing the same thing. So that, I mean, you
just
can't
our-
be doing it wrong.
I don't know what his schedule is, but it's just my schedule.
But he
dude.
probably trains at night too then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's training all the time. But
So I mean, I don't think you're doing it wrong. I wonder sometimes because I feel like for me, but if you don't have time, that's the main problem, dude. It's
Well,
like, how are you gonna do it?
I had this ankle injury. You know about the ankle injury. So my ankle's never been the same. So I don't do cardio. I don't run anymore because my ankle's so fucked up now.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sucks, dude. Now it's shooting up to my hip. So I'm just like, fuck, dude. No excuses, but it sucks. So I try to get my workouts in. I don't do legs as much as I should. I do kettlebells for my legs, my leg workouts. So I don't do squats anymore. So that's pretty much it with that.
So you don't do squats anymore at all? Is it because it strains the knee too much?
No, it's because my fucking ankle's been injured since I injured it in jiu-jitsu.
Just ignored that whole
I don't want to say who injured it.
I know who injured it.
Yeah, I got taken down and trying to do some stupid wrestling move and fucking pop my ankle in the emergency room. But you know what? I was back the next day fucking training on an injured ankle. That's the difference.
No, I mean, you have the fight. It's just we got to train our minds to be smart for ourselves. Because I feel like the fight in us isn't keeping us going. It's keeping our spirit going. But our body's like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
It's that machismo, dude. It's that fucking
Yeah, I mean, you can't let go of that.
Yeah. What else you got before we end our podcast?
That was it. That's about
good.
it.
Well, it's been a good podcast, everybody. Next week, we got Toasty coming on.
Oh, that'd be good.
And then we got Bobby Zeepdog coming on to our podcast. Do you have a quote you want to read at the end of the...
Well, that's what I was just looking up, and I'm just going to go with a random quote. I'm going off a Norm Macdonald quote. You know who Norm Macdonald is?
Oh.
Stand-up comedian?
No.
All right.
Well, I'll look it up, though.
You'll look it up. You'll know
I'm going
who
to
he
watch
is.
after this. I'm going to watch that Netflix.
All right, so here's a quote from Norm Macdonald. You're trying your best to make people laugh. Then if you fail, they hate you. But your intent's the same. It's not like you're trying to do evil to them. So these Norm Macdonald quotes don't quite work as well as I thought they would. One, I'm not Norm Macdonald, and two, that's not quite the quote I wanted to go with. So I'm going to pull up a different one real quick. But this is what happens. And this is how you know this is a real podcast. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we care. But we try things out. So sometimes we're going to fall flat on our dicks.
We're not fucking perfect.
All right, so let's rewind the tape. Thanks for listening, guys. And to end today's episode, the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button.
Remember,
Wolves Denners, we are out.
And drink water after you drink all this, because you're going to need it. All right. Later, guys.
Have a great one.